And welcome Texas National Bank at Bobby Lack as KWES the 32-6 District. I am Joe Aguilar Gonzalez bringing you from today's meet.
Yeah. So now it counts. Time we did this, we played invitation spring break. The cooler, the wind was blowing to the south today. The other way, it looks like south-west direction. So it's fun talking to the boys coach and things he addressed to me. The hottest meet we've had because now in the weather. But that's moving forward. District, you will run area in Harlingen.
You're right. It is 86 degrees right. You're right. The wind the south at 13 hours, so it's a wind and today, but it's still we've been the events or some of them not this year. We've been where it's 100 degrees.
Sometimes I'll have it during the day. They have this at 6 o'clock, so the
with first Pineda, Vino, Linnell, and anchoring Martin. Nationals will start off Verduzco, go to Leila Galvan, Natalie Moctezuma. The anchor is going to be Harlingen. Lucy will followed by Leila Blanco and anchored by Mares. The lady things going with Andrea. Myra Poo will be by Martinez. Ramos will leg 1, that's leg 2. Talan and Garcia was the year that got gold in the 6A, and that was a really good of track career.
Records are fairly broken just a few years, but some of the, Joe, that we'll talk about are as far back as 1981, so interesting. And Coach Gabriel, he says that his chances tonight be in the thick of this time they won.
And the a good clean Weslaco in lane. Harlingen making on San Benito. There's a good exchange. Is the exchange Ramos and Venegas is already made up the stack. San Benito doing a good job. Lane 5, so it's Harlingen and Benito order, but it looks like first, followed by Weslaco. Harlingen not getting, finally got it. We'll close to the, but Harlingen, man, is going to hang things for Harlingen. That is Davian, Davian Moore. There's a little bit of a issue there on the, not sure if they went beyond the zone, but see, I can't see that part of the
coaches make adjustments as far as placing placing maybe second or third.
Yeah, they more than likely not do something that it is district, all the exchanges. But what they will extend more. So let's say the second, if you're running like 4x1, like because they are weighted, they make them an extra 10 yards and shorten because he's going into the.
Interesting. So yeah, still involved. I mean, they probably have that. But yeah, great. Because I mean, we've had season since what, January, February, whatever it is, and that's where they make all their changes or whatever. You have practice, meets, but then it's like it's right,
right, because it needs to be down, and when we saw the camera, the hard exchange, and been doing that all year. So can you imagine trying to the day of district, unless then you have no
right.
But yeah, what we have seen is some coaches and the runners, especially wind aided, to give the guy a little bit distance because so from the 100 for the girls to the lane assignment. In lane, Lynn Garcia. Lane 2, Jessica of Los Fresnos. Joseph of Harlingen. 3. Elena of Harlingen. 4. Van of Los Fresnos. 5. Shiloh Fresnos is in Ana Arriaga. Lane 7, she's from. And Riley of Harlingen. Lane 8. Alex, T19, is the record holder for the 100 for the girls, and is of Los, and she has 18. Roquette is the really down back in Jimmy Platt track meet.
I was going to say, our young lady having a big that afternoon, and comment like, well, we're going to
right
next month. We are, so
next month is here.
Here. What, 50? So still not on pace for the red. Still a pretty good time.
Yeah, Layla, probably the closest to her at 54 so far. And so those are good ones to watch and to see this year. So lane 4 is going to be a good challenge. The blocks. It's going to be a good one. So lane 4 at lane 5, Layla. Both 16 times with sub 16 in this group. They are set off. A good, it's Roquette, and it's in place in lane, and they're going to run away with it. And Galvan in first, Galvan, and that's when then another young Fresnos be third, and that's Shiloh. And run there by, see her there on. She is your of 2020, and there's the hurdles nice and effortlessly, not being and finishes first by Layla. Shiloh Jones in third.
Galvan did with Roquette, both run.
for the boys, it is 110 meters. So they'll run an extra 10 meters beyond what the girls run. And again, the hurdles are set for a higher height. And so they are going to get those set. And as while they do that, let's go and give you a rundown of the lane assignments. In lane 1, it's going to be David Antonio Chapa of Hanna High School. Lane 2 will have Gael Garcia of San Benito. Lane 3, Ricardo Sebastián Salazar from Los Fresnos. Lane 4, Josiah Castillo of San Benito. Lane 5, Noah Huerta of Harlingen. Lane 6, Nestor Rodriguez of Harlingen. Lane 7, Ethan Pedraza of San Benito. And in lane 8, can be Miguel Peña of Los Fresnos. The record set in 2017 is Alexander Lara with a time of 14:46. And again, as we mentioned, that was set back in 2017. And Alexander Lara is one of our very own of Weslaco High School.
If I remember correctly, Joe, I believe he played defensive back.
Yes,
for the Panthers in 20. So that means his senior year would have been, well, I could be wrong here, but I'm assuming his senior year was 2016, perhaps fall of 2016 going into 2017.
Right, well, yeah, the year that he played, yeah.
If that was the case, then that's when he set the record. So, which makes sense, 14:46, and playing defensive back, that's what they want. They want you to have good covering skills and speed.
Right, and plus, he had some hops too, running over the hurdles. So, yeah, he was a lanky one. I remember a little bit taller.
Yeah, he was like number 19, I think, or somewhere around there. Could be wrong.
Yeah,
it was already a little while back, 7 years ago. Do we have a few minutes? Well, let's see. I'll read out the girls' 800-meter results here. In fourth place was Isabela Vasquez out of Los Fresnos. Third place was Delilah Martinez out of Los Fresnos. Second place was Brianna Venegas out of Harlingen. And your first place winner with a time of 2:23.76 was Destiny Duran out of Harlingen.
Good run there by Duran. She beat the #1 ranked young lady from the district so far, and which is also her teammate.
Yeah, and on the boys' side, boys 800-meter run, Kevin Martinez was your fourth place finish out of San Benito. We talked about that young man. Third place was Rayin Flores out of Harlingen. Second place, Andres Rodriguez out of San Benito. And your first place winner with a time of 2 minutes, .41 was Ubaldo III out of Harlingen High School.
He runs pretty consistent. He just, he had run a couple of weeks ago the 2 minutes and 1/100th of a second. So he just ran just a tad bit slower, but still not a second slower. But still didn't break the 2-minute mark either. But again, just good, consistent running from him. So, and he can keep that pace. There's going to be some good things happening at the area and regional meets for him.
Do we have time for one more?
No, we don't.
We're going to wait.
Yeah, let's wait for that because we're going to have a big break after this because they're going to have to remove the hurdles. So they've already got the runners in the blocks. So let's get ready for the boys' 110-meter hurdle event. As we mentioned earlier, lane 4, Josiah San Benito, Josiah Castillo, 15:77, and he's up in front. There he goes running away with this one, but the young man from Harlingen on the outside is beginning to give him a run for the money, Nestor Rodriguez. And it's going to be a tight one.
Oh, wow.
Nestor Rodriguez and Josiah Castillo. That one was a close one. Here they come. It is San Benito and Harlingen. They are falling on the front footstep at about the same time, and the angle of the camera doesn't help us here. But what a race between those two men there, Nestor Rodriguez and Josiah Castillo of San Benito.
And I noticed that on the very last hurdle, Josiah kind of, it wasn't clean. That last
Right.
hurdle fell down, and I think that slowed him down just enough to put the young man from Harlingen, Noah Huerta.
Nestor Rodriguez.
Was it Rodriguez? Okay.
Yeah.
Nestor Rodriguez in front of him, and, you know, when we have the official time, we'll see, but that might be the difference right there.
That was a really good race there, and who knows? You know, maybe he felt Rodriguez on his tail, and that could have gotten him out of rhythm. You know, knowing that someone is right there, and
Yeah.
you just try to go a little harder, try to dig a little deeper, and sometimes it takes you out of your rhythm.
Yeah, and it looks like the young man from Los Fresnos, Sebastián Salazar Ricardo, finished a solid third.
Right.
So he'll get the bronze.
So good race of the boys 110 hurdles. And so from here we will go to the 100-meter dash, but we got some more results to give to you.
The results of the girls 100-meter hurdles. Fourth place was Anissa Joseph out of Harlingen. Third place was Shiloh Jones out of Los Fresnos. Second place, Leila Galvan out of Los Fresnos. And your first place winner with a time of 15:64 is Elena Roquette out of Harlingen High School.
You know, Mike, we are seeing a lot of Los Fresnos finishing second, third, fourth, and what that means is they're getting points.
Yeah, that's something, Pablo, I'm going to get addressed to me here. He goes, Harlingen is going to be the favorite because they have just a phenomenal team and a phenomenal athletes there. He's like, but Los Fresnos has numbers. And so, yeah, he addressed that to me, and you know, and that's why he was saying we're going to do our best, because he says we have 9 runners. And they actually lost a couple from earlier in the year. But he's like, we're not making excuses. We're going to still come out and run, you know, a good meet. You know, he's still confident. And but sometimes every year is different. But sometimes you have the numbers. Sometimes you have the talent. And sometimes you have both.
Right. Yeah, but you know, one thing that, like I said, we've been hearing a lot of is Los Fresno not finishing first, but finishing with 1 or 2 people in the top 4, and so that means points.
And so when you talk about points, so they have here after 10 events, Harlingen with 124 points in first place, and then Los Fresnos with 92, and then behind them is Weslaco. So right now Harlingen is in control on the girls' side. So not surprisingly though, that, you know, Pablo said, you know, the girls are going to be the favorite. The Harlingen girls are going to be the favorite. So right now it looks good for Harlingen. I do have the results of the boys 110-meter hurdles, and this is what they have, Joe. They have in fourth place Nestor Rodriguez out of Harlingen, and then in third place is Ricardo Sebastián Salazar out of Los Fresnos, and then second place was Josiah Castillo out of San Benito. And you know what, Joe? I think there's a correction actually, because look, I'm noticing the first place they're not in the right order. So yeah, Noah Huerta out of Harlingen finished with 16:31. So yeah, I wasn't looking at the numbers. I got to look at the finals here. So what they have is Noah Huerta with 15:78 is what they have in the finals, and then they have Josiah Castillo with 15:81 in second place. In third place is Ricardo Sebastián Salazar with 16:13, and Nestor Rodriguez, they have him at 16:45. So I was thrown off a little bit because I was looking at the prelims, and then there's the finals. There's 2 columns. But that's what they have officially. Yeah. They have Noah Huerta as your winner with a time of 15:78.
So he ran a really good race. He's pretty much run the best race he's run so far this year, because he ran sub 16, and he hadn't run sub 16 this year just yet. But yeah, you were right. And as we mentioned, they're on the other side of the track, so it's really hard for us to tell which one is which from where we're positioned. And our cameras are on this side of the track as well.
Right.
And so you saw better than I did, because I thought it was Rodriguez that had finished second or first, depending on how they were going to put him there.
Right.
You know, because we knew Castillo was there, but I couldn't tell if it was Nestor Rodriguez or Huerta. It looked from where I'm standing that there was a lane between them, and that's why I thought it was. But again, good call there, Mike. And so now we move over to the girls 100-meter dash, and this is going to be a fun one to watch. Liliana Liliana Gonzalez of Los Fresnos in lane 1. Amanda Mares of Harlingen in lane 2. Samara Rodriguez of Riera in lane 3. Sarah Sanusi from Harlingen in lane 4. Sadie Romero, Weslaco in lane 5. Andrea Torres of Weslaco in lane 6. Evelyn Ellis of Los Fresnos in lane 7. And Madison Reyes of Weslaco in lane 8. So this one is going to be a very interesting one because you've got Rodriguez of Rivera, Sanusi of Harlingen, Romero of Weslaco, and Torres of Weslaco with all really good times. And we've seen them run well all year long.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, 3 of those girls, Samara Rodriguez, Sadie Romero, and Andrea Torres, were ranked in the top 10 March the 7th. So you're right, Joe. This is going to be a very competitive race. And this is the first time we see Bronzo Rivera.
Right.
But we did see, obviously, we're familiar with Weslaco, and Harlingen always has strong runners. So this should be fun. This should be a lot of fun.
So this is going to be a good one.
And the record, I'm not sure if you've read it.
No, I didn't. Yeah, go ahead.
11:97, set by Sierra Peña out of Harlingen South back in 2015.
So 9 years ago.
9 years ago.
So they've got the blocks set up, and they're getting their warm-up jumps, making sure they've got the positioning of their blocks in the place that they want them. So a good race is in store. The girls' 100-meter dash, and as we mentioned, Sanusi with the best time so far, 12:23 from Harlingen. But as we saw, Sadie Romero, the anchor leg for the Weslaco Lady Panthers, is running very strong today. She held off everyone and captured the gold for the Lady Panthers.
You kind of get the sense, Joe, that because of what's at stake, there's a little more serious looks in these athletes' faces. You can kind of tell there. Look at their focus, and just they understand the situation. This isn't just another invitational. This is for the district.
And the right to advance to area. But more than anything else, bragging rights if you get the gold.
Absolutely.
So here they go, getting them in their start. It'll be Rodriguez in lane 3 from Rivera, Sanusi from Harlingen in lane 4, Romero from Weslaco in lane 5, and Torres from Weslaco in lane 6. They are up and they are off. Good start. Sanusi in first, Rivera in second, Romero going up to second place. Romero making a move. Romero in second, Sanusi first, Romero second, and Rodriguez third is what I've got. So good race there. Sanusi began to just pull away from the pack at about the 30-meter mark. It was a good, clean start by everyone. Strong. Sanusi began to separate herself. But then Romero, right around the 60-meter mark, began to pull away and get in front of the young lady from Rivera. And it looked like in lane 2, Maris of Harlingen is going to finish fourth.
I just wonder if this race would have gone another 100 meters if Romero would have given Sanusi a good run there. It looked like Romero was just about to make a move there and just unfortunately ran out. But a nice job there by Sanusi. As you mentioned, Joe, she got off to a really good start coming off of
the blocks.
The blocks, yeah, she came out of the blocks, so really strong there and just kind of took the lead. And then, as you mentioned, she kind of widened the gap a little bit, kind of halfway. But Romero, in the last 50 meters or so, is when she really made her move. But yeah, a really good race there.
Next are going to be the boys. Lane 1, Jared Gonzalez of Rivera. Lane 2, Josue Limon of Los Fresnos. Lane 3, Robert Roman Pineda of Los Fresnos. John Garcia of Weslaco is going to be in lane 4. Fabian Garcia of San Benito in lane 5. David Ramos of Harlingen in lane 6. Davian Salomon from Harlingen in lane 7. And Marcus Cano of Weslaco in lane 8. The record, as we got to see that one run right here, Joe Garcia of Harlingen, 10.3.
Oh, that's that special young man that we talked about out of Harlingen. Yeah. He set the state record, right? Or who was, what was it?
I don't think it was a state record, but he got gold.
He got gold. I know there was some kind of record he set up in Austin. I don't remember if it was I don't know if it was one of the best in nationals or something like that, but I just remember it was something really big. But yeah, you're right, Joe. We got to see him here for a couple of years, and he was just a phenomenal young man.
And so John Garcia so far with the best time, 11.12. He is in lane 4. Fabian Garcia, Mike, correct me if I'm right or wrong, but isn't that the running back from San Benito?
I think you're right. Yeah. And he's a senior year.
Yeah, yeah.
That 2,000-yard rusher, I think.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and he's been running for like the last 3 years.
Ooh, yeah. I'm sure some of these opposing coaches are happy that he's moving on there. But
and if I'm not mistaken, I think he's going to go play at UTRGV. There's quite a few kids from the Valley that are going to be starting their collegiate careers at UTRGV on that brand new football team. So the runners are going into their blocks as the starters just moments away from getting them going. They are set. Good, clean start. Garcia with a great start. And he's in front of everybody. And on his inside, it is the young man from Los Fresnos, Pineda. And what a good race by Garcia. Garcia started strong, came out of the blocks quick in front of everybody, and was just able to maintain that speed throughout and keep himself in front. Pineda was in second place from Los Fresnos, so a good run there by Garcia and Pineda.
Yeah, that's one of the young men that Coach Cabrera was talking about, the senior, who's been a part of varsity for 4 years now. And just you're right, Joe, that the way he got out of that block was just so good. And then you see the young man from Los Fresnos there making a move there. I thought he was going to maybe do something there, but yeah, you know, he told me, John Garcia, keep an eye on him in the 100 and 200 race, and he'll be a part of the relays as well.
Yeah, it was Pineda, and then Josué Limón finished third for Los Fresnos. Fabian Garcia was in the hunt to finish in the top 3 or 4, but right around the 75-meter mark, he pulled up. It looked like he may have pulled a hamstring.
Oh, well, we hope that he's okay there, because yeah, he's a phenomenal talent there, and you know, we just hope that he's okay there. But yeah, great job by Garcia.
So we are going to move on to another relay. This is going to be the 4x200-meter relay. The girls will go first, followed by the boys. The Hannah girls looking at themselves on the camera, waving to the camera. Always fun to watch the kids recognize themselves when they are live on camera, of course, because the camera that's live is also on the Jumbotron. And so they were excited to be front and center there on here on KWES. So as we mentioned, we are moving on to the girls 4x200-meter relay, and in lane 2 it's going to be the girls from Hannah, the ones you just saw on the screen. It'll be Valentina Pineda, Niela Trevino, Alexia Salazar, and Lisa Martinez. Lane 3 is going to be Weslaco, Andrea Torres, Alessandra Torres, Mia Desiga, and Madison Reyes. Lane 4 is going to be Harlingen, Sarah Sanusi, Leila Cerda, Amanda Mares, Ana Tamplaco. In lane 5, Los Fresnos, Bianca Verduzco, Sofia Duran, Natalie Moctezuma, and Evelyn Ellis. San Benito is going to be in lane 6, Lauren Schaefer, Ariana Gonzalez, Emmeline Cardenas, and Lauren Longoria. Lane 7, Rivera, Amy Armandariz, Zandria Johnson, Mia Torres, and Rosa Saldaña. Brownsville Hannah has the record in the girls 4x200-meter relay, set in 1983 with a time of 1:45.44. And Harlingen has run a time better than that, as has Los Fresnos. They have 1:43 and 1:42. And then Weslaco with the third best time so far, and they've run 1:46. So these 3 teams, Weslaco, Harlingen, and Los Fresnos, barring any miscues, can come away with a gold and quite possibly a district record. So that's going to be interesting to watch those three teams, as the record could be shattered here this afternoon. So once again, the next event is going to be the 4x200 meter relay girls division, followed by the boys division.
And while we have a few minutes, the results of the girls 100 meter dash. In fourth place was Amanda Mares out of Harlingen. Third place was Samara Rodriguez out of Branzo Rivera. In second place is Sari Romero out of Weslaco. And your first place winner with a time of 12:23 is Sarah Sanusi out of Harlingen High School.
You just mentioned Amanda Mares fourth, Sanusi first. Those two young ladies are on this relay team.
So they're warmed up. I think it's fair to say they're warmed up for this event here. And now the boys 100 meter dash. Fourth place was Davian Salomon out of Harlingen. Third place is Josue Limon out of Los Fresnos. Second place is Robert Roman Piñera out of Los Fresnos. And your first place winner with a time of 11.12 is John Garcia out of Weslaco High School. Congratulations.
John Garcia, 11-1. That's kind of same that he's run this year. Pretty consistent there. So good run there by Garcia, as that was basically, like I said a little while ago, the best time he's put up so far this year. So Weslaco putting up a couple of points there, but again, Los Fresnos just creeping in with more second and third place finishes.
You know, and that's something that Coach Cabrera said. Like, you know, he mentioned the relays are going to be the key, but yeah, if they could just kind of keep up, you know, going into the final events, and it gives you a shot, and that's what you want.
So the girls are next, 4x200 meter relay, and they are going out to the track, and they'll get them going and they'll get them situated. Each girl's going to run 200 meters, so it'll be half a lap. So at every corner or the beginning of every turn is where the exchanges will take place. As you mentioned, Mike, two girls that are advancing to the area round in the girls 100 meters, Amanda Mares and Sarah Sanusi of Harlingen, both are going to be on this team that are running right now. It's going to be the first and third legs, so they're probably standing right next to each other, and yes, there they are on the track. So Weslaco in lane 3, Harlingen in lane 4, and Los Fresnos in lane 5. Getting the last minute instructions from the starter, and they will have to stay in their lanes for the entire duration of the first lap.
You notice a young lady from San Benito kind of counting her steps there. And that's part of the strategy, right? Like, that's how you kind of measure when the runner behind you, when they come, right? There's like a certain, when you pass the baton, there's like a certain step or a certain area that they get to, and then you start running.
Right. Normally, they'll put a piece of tape on that part of the track. So as you said right now, they are stepping off. So wherever she is going to start from, back to steps, and so there'll be a mark there, whether it be a physical or just something that may be already on the track. Like, for instance, if they're going to use the little triangle, they'll move forward from the triangle the number of steps, and so they'll use that triangle as the marker as to when that young lady who has the baton hits that mark, the young lady to receive the baton begin. There is a where they should already know is going to take place the 10th, somewhere around there.
And
everybody's a little. A lot of times, you know, they use the word hand or falcon, you know what that is. We've heard things like that.
And we're hours and hours of practice establishing that they're establishing like how many steps should it be, any, or when they get to this point, and now it counts.
Yep. It's a lot that exchange down. It's a lot the exchange down. So they've got them on the track. The mark. So this is the other track as they are going to run these young ladies that run camera. The still doesn't have, and now they are getting box. They're a little bit further than they were events because they got. So here we go. 4x2 relay girls is up and top. West. I'm sorry, not San Benito. Big job, but on the inside, Fresno's already making. So Los Fresnos in first and second. The exchange here. A good clean exchange as well. Now here comes West to the screen now. Weslaco, as we mentioned earlier, exact uniforms. There's a little bit of gold. Really hard for us to see from. But nonetheless, and but because it's a little hard to tell. Let's see who gets a baton. Weslaco begins as well. So first, Weslaco third as far as exchange. Leg of each team. It is Mia Harlingen has on Maris. Los Fresnos has Suma. Way out on top. And here Weslaco. It is great leg. Made up some room. Harlingen team. The last leg for Los is going to be she's out in front. Get the determination on her face. And is finishing with and she's back in second for Harlingen, who is finishing with Matt. So it's going to be Los Harlingen and go first and third. Benito will finish fourth.
Yeah, they got to hang on. Bronzo Hanna's trying second. San Benito fourth. So they'll.
What a good by the teams. We mentioned they started. Those were the three, and those were the three really poured it on there. A good finish there. The anchor leg, Ellis, as she got first, and just a few that determination as she was of the turn in front, just all out.
Talked about before the steps closely of the exchange. Perfect rhythm, sticking her hand out, giving to her, and
so up next are and they will go Fresno's third lane and fourth lane is going to be in lane Harlingen. Lane 6 7 is Los Gutierrez, Josué, Juan Carlos, Gael Palestina, Jordan Almeida. Adam Cortez, Juan Yaro, and Christian Dominiski. Weslaco with the best time so far, 1:30. And then you've got Harlingen and Hannah with times of 1:31. Andres Sepulveda, Eli Rodriguez, those are two guys to watch on that Weslaco team. Of course, Davian Salomon just medaled on a previous event. And then, of course, Hannah, they 1:31.77. The record for the boys 4x200 meter relay set in 2016 by Harlingen South, a time of 1:29.53.
So if you're Weslaco, and of course Cabrera told me that they think they have a shot for a district title, you got to have this race. I mean, they're the favorites coming in with the best time though. So let's see if they can come through with a big finish here. So I got the results of the girls 4x200 meter relay. In fourth place was San Benito. Third place is Weslaco. Second place is Harlingen High School. And your first place winner with a time of 1:45.17 is Los Fresnos.
1:45.17. That should be a record, Mike.
The previous record was set.
Yeah, and I want to say I think that's what they're announcing right now. So you may be right, Joe.
45.44.
And so right now, Harlingen still in first place with 154 points, followed by Los Fresnos at 113, and then Weslaco in third place with a 72.
Mike, if that is correct, if we stand correct with what we've got right now, that record had been on the books since 1983.
Wow.
The 4x200 meter.
41 years?
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, you called it, Joe. I mean, you saw the exchanges with the baton and just the way they finished the race nice and clean. And I mean, it was just beautifully executed all around.
Well, here come the boys. They are sent to the blocks. Set. And it's a good, clean start. Weslaco, Harlingen, and Hannah, the three teams to watch in this one. Sepulveda, Andres, the quarterback. And he just signed to go play college football somewhere. Not sure where, but he's out in front.
You see his teammate, swinging his hand like, come on, come on, come on.
Harlingen, Weslaco with the exchange first. And it's going to be Weslaco's second leg in Andres Valdez doing a great job getting the Panthers out in first place. Weslaco followed by Hannah, then Harlingen. And this is going to be Eli Rodriguez. This guy's going to be fun to watch. He's got some wheels. There it is. Good exchange. And Rodriguez has it. They are in first, followed by Hannah and Harlingen. And Rodriguez is out in front, and he's extended that lead. And you talked about this, Mike. Weslaco needs this one. And from all looks right now, they look like they will have it. If they get a good exchange here, Bo Cuellar can finish strong here, and it's a good exchange. Bo Cuellar out in front, and he's going to hang on to win this one. He's got a very good lead, followed by Hannah. So here comes Bo Cuellar. What a race being run by Cuellar. Cuellar going to finish first, followed by Hannah, San Benito, and Los Fresnos. So Bo Cuellar with a great finish. But you got to give credit to all four guys. We said this at the beginning. Andres Sepulveda, the quarterback for the Panthers, was running strong, and he was beginning to make some moves and cutting into that stagger. And then when he gave the baton over to Andres Valdez, Andres got Weslaco into first place. And then Eli Rodriguez.
No, but did you see when Andres handed the baton to Eli, the way Andres already had his hands up like he knew this was in the books or something?
Well, because we said it, Mike. Eli Rodriguez got wheels.
Yeah.
He's got wheels. We knew that.
Right.
And so once he got the baton, and if he's in first place, unless you're a Joe Garcia, I don't think anybody's going to catch you.
Right.
But Joe Garcia has graduated and running at UTSA.
Yeah. But yeah, that was. I mean, just like we were praising Los Fresnos for the previous race, Weslaco High, the same thing. And just we said, Joe, they needed to win this race to have a chance to make a run in district, and they did just that. They took care of business here, and that keeps them in the run. It keeps them in the run, and so yeah, it was beautifully executed all around there. But yeah, I got a kick out of the way Andres handed the baton to Eli, and then Eli just took off. And you see Andres with his hands up, his arms up. That was so cool.
Well, the race that a lot of people have circled on their agenda tonight is the girls 400-meter dash, because probably, we have to say this, the most talented person on this track is a young lady that's going to run this next race.
That would be Faith Franklin out of Harlingen High School.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and give you the rundown of the lane assignments for the girls 400-meter dash. Caroline Hernandez will be in lane 1 from Harlingen. Delilah Martinez of Los Fresnos in lane 2. Yasmin Benarbe from San Benito in lane 3. Faith Franklin from Harlingen in lane 4. Samara Rodriguez in lane 5 from Rivera. Isabela Vasquez of Los Fresnos in lane 6. Jenna Peña of Weslaco in lane 7. And Addison Barrera of Los Fresnos is in lane 8. The record was set last year, a time of 54:28. by Faith Franklin herself.
Yeah, it wasn't here in Weslaco.
No, it wasn't.
It was in Harlingen, perhaps, or another.
Wasn't it in San Benito?
Maybe it was San Benito.
Yeah.
You could be right there. But this was the event, Joe, that Faith Franklin ran up in Boston, Massachusetts. Right. She wasn't here for the Jimmy Platt Invitational, and I had a chance to visit with her before.
And she had pinky promised us the year before when she was injured that she was going to be here.
Yeah, she was here last year for Jimmy Platt.
She broke a pinky promise.
She did.
Yeah.
But that's okay. She's here right now, and you know, she was looking forward to the race. But yeah, she was just so much fun to talk to. And one of the questions I asked her was, you know, about the experience. I go, did you come back a better runner, a better athlete than, you know, when, you know, after the event? She said absolutely, that she came home with a lot more confidence, you know, because Joe, when she went over there, she didn't have her coaches. It's the first time she didn't have any of her coaches there, and usually she has like one or two coaches, you know, kind of in her ear, giving her tips or prepping her for a race. She went over there on her own, and she won first place. And so what's left? She has the record for the 100, the 200, and the 400. She wants to break the state record in this event. And you know, she was just so much fun to visit with. And I asked her if in Boston she saw anybody famous or anything like that, and she said, well, she saw somebody by the name of Quincy Wilson. Mm-hmm. For those that follow track, this young man is a high school phenom in Maryland, I was told. And Quincy actually broke like the national record at that event. So for her, that was just something special to experience. And we know that she moved on to sign with the Vanderbilt starting next fall. And so she's excited about that. And, you know, growing up, she dreamed about perhaps running in the Olympics one day. That's her dream. And I said, where did you pick up that dream? I asked her, I go, did you watch the Olympics growing up or anything like that? And for her, it was just all about being the best in the world. That's the goal. You know, it wasn't so much that she saw any particular race or any particular event on TV. She just wanted to be the best in the world at something, whether it was gymnastics, whether it was track, didn't matter what event. For her, that's what it's all about. It's just, hey, someday I want to be the best in the world. And she has that dream, and that's what you want. Somebody, you know, at that young age, you have a dream. And she's putting the work. She's putting in the work, and she has a lot of confidence now. And that experience in Boston, I think, is going to help her moving forward as she moves on into her college career.
Well, again, she has the record here in the 6A division in the district of 32 with a time of 54:28. The state record and national record was set last year by a girl by the name of Lauren Lewis of Prosper, Texas.
That's the young lady that beat her at state last year.
Right, exactly. 51:83.
And she told me that's why I want to chase that record, because that's a young lady that beat her. So that she kind of shows you the competitive side of it. She has a little sensitive. She's very soft-spoken, but when we started talking about that, she came at me like, I want that record. And so she has that burning desire. So something that she worked on, Joe, from last year to this year, she felt she needed to work on her confidence a little bit. And she feels like that experience in Boston did just that. And now she's just ready to let it all out now. And now district is here, and she's the favorite to win. And, you know, she she plans on doing some great things before she graduates from Harlingen High School.
Well, it's going to be a little difficult to break that record or even get anywhere near the national/state record of 51 because the winds have picked up. They're now at 16 miles an hour. As you can see from the flags, they're burning a little bit frisker.
And she actually told me that she believes if she were to break that record, it would be at the state level because she will likely go up against that kind of competition. I don't know if that young lady that beat her is still in high school or anything like that, but the point is that she's going to see that kind of competition because it's at the highest level, and that's where she thinks she'll break it. But she knows that before even thinking about anything like that, she has to take care of business right here, right now.
Yeah, it starts here.
Lane 7, Jenna Peña from Weslaco. Lane 8, Addison Barrera from Los Fresnos.
So here comes a 400-meter dash for the girls division. And they are sent to their lanes. Still not in their blocks yet. But the starter's on his podium already. There he goes, set to the blocks. Franklin, the only girl on this list who has run a sub-minute 400 meters. And we know that she can do it pretty easily with the time of 54 from last year. And there she goes, already making up the stagger. She's already in first place, so if she stays strong and doesn't have anything go negatively wrong, as such a pulled muscle, she's going to run away with this one easily because she is just way out in front of everybody. And she is just so relaxed. You can just see her breathing right there. And she
her
is
focus.
Focused.
Yeah.
We said it at the same time.
Yeah.
Jinx, pincho me a Coke. But there she goes. She's at least 50 meters in front of everybody. The young lady from Rivera looks like she is the closest to her, and that is Samaro Rodriguez. She is at 43 seconds here. Let's see how close she is to 55 seconds. I don't think she's going to break the record. She may have. She
53.
may have.
I got her at 53 something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She may have broken the record.
And it looked like she was jogging like the last 100 meters or so.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
We said it. She's relaxed. She's breathing. You know. There she is. Let's see. She gives you her dance.
And we talked about that too. I go, please give us a little something. We're going to have a camera on you. I think she's just trying to catch her breath right now. She sees the camera. She even looked at the scoreboard right now.
There you go.
There we go. Here we go.
There's the dance. You got it.
Well, you know what? I think we're going to see her again run a race later on. So maybe she'll give us a little more than that.
But here she comes down the backstretch, and she is just so relaxed.
Golly.
Look at how effortlessly she's moving her arms. They're going up and down. Her knees are coming up. She's got full stride. And she is just breathing. You can tell that she is in control of her race.
We've seen other runners, you know, when they have that kind of lead or when they know they're going to win a race, they look up at the scoreboard. No, she's still focused at the task in hand, and that is that finish line. You notice that. And, yeah, she's just something special, Joe. She's just a
Yeah, we don't get to see athletes like this very often, and when you do, you've just got to just take in the moment.
We got the camera on her again, so.
Yeah, that's a special young lady. We've got several that have come through this area. You know, like we said earlier, we saw Joe Garcia quite a bit here. Before that, we got a chance to see Alex Trevino, who had that record for a while.
Yeah.
Let me see who was some of the other ones. The Weslaco boys back when Mishak and those guys were running. You know, those guys were setting records.
They had a great relay team too.
Yep. So we like we've been saying all night, just you get those special athletes that come through here, and it's just a sight to see.
I read an article, Joe, focusing on Franklin, and she credits her head coach, Hickle Woolery. I hope I pronounce his name right. One of the things he tells his athletes is, where the mind goes, the body will follow. And I think you saw it there in that race, and you bring up all those points you made as her mind went and her body followed, her arms, her legs, her eyes, everything. It makes perfect sense.
Let's go to give you the lane assignments for the boys 400-meter dash. In lane 1 is going to be Eric Wrinkle of Los Fresnos, Ryan Flores of Harlingen in lane 2, Anthony Martinez of Los Fresnos in lane 3, Saul Ramirez of Weslaco in lane 4, Jay-Z Moore of Harlingen in lane 5, Michael Vela of Weslaco in lane 6, Ubaldo III of Harlingen in lane 7, Adrian Martinez of Los Fresnos in lane 8. Jay-Z Moore, we saw him run earlier, so he's going to be one to watch there. He was the anchor leg of the 4x100-meter relay, if I'm correct, and he basically had to come to a complete stop before he got the baton. But here we go, 400-meter boys, just about to get underway. Gun is up. And they're off. Good, clean start. As we mentioned, Saul Ramirez of Weslaco. He's got the best time coming in. He is in lane 4 for Weslaco. And it is him and the young man on the outside, Jay-Z Moore, looking like they are in first and second place. But it looks more like Ramirez is beginning to make a move and going to make up that stagger here on this turn. But not only is Ramirez of Weslaco running a good race, Michael Vela of Weslaco in lane 6 out there doing good as well. So it's going to be Weslaco, Harlingen, and Weslaco. Here we go. Ramirez, Moore, and the young man from Los Fresnos, Martinez, going 1, 2, and 3. Martinez trying to hold on as he's looking to take over on Ramirez, but he could not. I think looks like Weslaco Ramirez is going to be first, followed by Martinez of Los Fresnos in second. And look at that, just respect for one another right there.
Yeah, that's what you like to see after a race. And what a finish that was. That young man from Los Fresnos really gave him a good ride there, especially at the end. I was kind of worried a little bit if he was going to be able to hold on, but it looks like he did there. But yeah, just look at the 3-4 young men there in the middle, just kind of going at it for first, second, and third there. And
Ramirez, Martinez, and Moore.
And Ramirez was able to hold on. So he put his head down there.
And then Vela from Weslaco may have gotten fourth. We'll see when the results come in.
Yeah, you see him right there, like by that much.
I got you, baby. I got you by that much. By that much. But you gotta love that right there. You gotta love the
sportsmanship.
Just the fun nature of these young men there.
And you know what, Joe? They're going to see each other next week in the area.
Yeah.
Like, that's going to be phenomenal to watch next week.
Coach Gaviria, you're talking about him a little while ago.
Yeah.
And the newest coach from Weslaco, he coaches our volleyball team.
Yeah. They made the playoffs this year.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. So congratulations. It was a really good year for the volleyball program, getting back into the playoffs.
Yeah, that was a really good move there. So we are done with the 400-meter run, boys and girls. And so now we will go to the next event, which is going to be the 300-meter hurdles. And the girls will go first, followed by the boys.
And I got the results from the boys 4x200-meter relay. Fourth place was Los Fresnos. Third place, San Benito. Second place, Brownsville Hanna. And your first place winner with a time of 1:30.20 was Weslaco High School. And we move on.
That was the boys 4x2.
Correct. The boys 4x200.
1:30. Man, they were so close to the record.
Yeah, that was a great race there. And we move on to the girls 400-meter dash. In fourth place was Yasmin Bernade out of San Benito. Third place is Jenna Peña out of Weslaco. Second place, Samara Rodriguez out of Brownsville Rivera. And your first place winner, Joe, and it's might be a record, 53:02.
It is.
It's a brand new record for Faith Franklin out of Harlingen High School, breaking her own record.
Her own record by over a second.
Oh, God.
And I said this at the beginning, 'cause it's gonna be hard because you're gonna be running into a 16-mile-an-hour wind. But when you're just that good, the wind doesn't affect you.
And I don't know if I said this, Joe, when she competed in Boston. I may or may not have, but she won that race in the 400 meter, and I believe it was indoor. That was something you asked me too. So I think she ran 2 laps around that indoor facility, and she won that race. It's just outstanding performance. And for the boys 400 meter dash, 4th place was Rayen Flores out of Harlingen. 3rd place is Jazian Moore out of Harlingen. 2nd place, Anthony Martinez out of Los Fresnos. And your 1st place winner with a time of 50.59 was Saul Ramirez out of Weslaco. So just to show you, Joe, 50.59, and then Anthony Martinez finished with 50.66. Very competitive.
5/100ths of a second. And then we saw that, them showing each other, I got you by that much. I got you by that much.
That's what that much looks like.
That's 5/100ths of a second.
That's what it looks like.
Like that. So as we mentioned, we now move over to the girls 300 meter hurdles. And in lane 1, it's going to be Brianna Arriaga of Hannah. Jessica Salazar of Los Fresnos will be in lane 2. Anissa Joseph of Harlingen in lane 3. Elena Roquette of Harlingen in lane 4. Leila Galvan of Los Fresnos in lane 5. Jaylyn Garcia of Weslaco in lane 6. Lily Avalos of San Benito in lane 7. And Leslie Camacho of San Benito in lane 8. The record holder is the one that is on the track right now. Elena Roquette last year ran a 44.72. And this year, her best time so far is 48 seconds.
And I do have results, Joe, of the girls' 3,200 meter run. And I think that took place this morning, earlier today. So we have Stephanie Ruiz out of Los Fresnos in 4th place. In the 3rd place was Destiny Duran out of Harlingen. 2nd place is Sophia Holmes out of Brownsville, Hannah. And your 1st place winner with a time of a 12:10.54 is Stephanie Suarez out of Harlingen High School. 3,200 meters, that's what?
2 miles.
2 miles, 8 laps. Pretty long race. Wow. And then doing it in the heat, too. Oh.
Well, it was cooler this morning, actually.
You're right. You're right. It was 58 degrees, I think.
Well, probably when they ran, it was probably like 65, 70. You know, I don't know exactly what time they ran, but it was already in the 60s at 8 o'clock or 7.
Very good point. Today was one of those spring days. We start the race here, but it was cool this morning, and now it got warm in the afternoon.
So here come the girls. Elena Roquette in lane 4 out in front of everybody. She was over the hurdle before everybody, and now she's beginning to extend her lead. She's already almost a full 3 strides in front of everybody. So she's going to walk away with this one, barring any drastic injury. But again, Elena Roquette is the record holder of the 32.68 300-meter hurdles. She did win gold earlier today in the 100-meter hurdles, and she's going to be a double gold winner so far here as she finishes the 300-meter hurdles. And it looks like in 2nd place is going to be Leila Galvan of Los Fresnos. But coming up on the inside is Anissa Joseph of Harlingen. So she's going to be 2nd. Harlingen followed by Los Fresnos. And then Weslaco's very own Jaylyn Garcia may have snuck in there in 4th. So good race there. You know, we were talking about the Los Fresnos girls getting points, you know, finishing 2nd, 3rd, 4th here. But Harlingen with 1st and 2nd here in this race.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, reading the results earlier, we know Harlingen had a very good lead here. And let me see if I can go back here to a few of the races there. Yeah, they have 160 coming into this race, 166 points. So Los Fresnos with 114. So, you know, this is going to help them.
Yeah, they're going to have 184 after this one. So good job there by Joseph finishing 2nd, because that young lady from Los Fresnos was in 2nd. It was Leila Galvan running really strong, but Joseph on the inside. But a good finish there by Jaylyn Garcia, as I from what we could tell up here, may have finished 4th place. So she'll be heading out the area for the Lady Panthers. So here we go with the boys' lane assignments. In lane 1 will be Noah Cáceres of Weslaco. Lane 2, Nestor Rodriguez of Harlingen. Lane 3, Julian Peña of Harlingen. Lane 4, Noah Huerta of Harlingen. Lane 5, Josiah Castillo of San Benito. Lane 6, Gael Garcia of San Benito. Lane 7, Ricardo Sebastián Salazar of Los Fresnos. And in lane 8, David Antonio Chapa of Hanna High School. So a young man, Noah Huerta, if I'm not mistaken, he was the one that won gold earlier. So he'll be in this race as well. Josiah Castillo, who finished 2nd in the 110-meter hurdles, is also in this race. So that's going to be a good one between them two.
Yeah, and they have those 2 young men listed in the top 10 in the team, in the, what was the track and field rankings earlier this year. So yeah, it's going to be a fun one to watch between those 2, that's for sure.
Yeah, they come in with the better times, but not too far behind is Julian Peña of Harlingen as well. So there's a couple of guys with some good times. Gael Garcia has got some good times this year as well. So Harlingen, San Benito with some good hurdlers here today. And they are all on the track again, facing off one another. So they're out to their blocks. 300-meter hurdles. And they're off. Good start. As we mentioned, Huerta from Harlingen, and he's in first place, got over the hurdle first. He's already made up the stagger, Mike. Look at that guy. He is in front of everybody. There he goes. It's Harlingen Huerta, followed by the 2 young men from San Benito. But Los Fresnos out in lane 7. Ricardo Salazar running a really good race. It looks like he's running out of gas. So here comes Huerta. It's going to be Huerta and Castillo. Huerta and Castillo first and second. Huerta, Castillo, followed by Garcia, is what it looks like.
Yeah, Castillo gave it a good run, like the last 100, maybe last 50 meters or so. Gave Huerta a little run for his money there. Huerta was able to hang on there, but yeah, Huerta got off to a great start to this race, and you know, was jumping over the hurdles nice and clean there, and it worked out for him, so congratulations.
So good run there by Huerta as we see the replay here on the backstretch, and he was just in front of everybody from the get-go, and he continues to run strong. And of course Castillo from San Benito in second, and then Garcia from San Benito finishing strong as well. As you know, Cáceres looked like he may have pulled a hamstring out there right the second to the last hurdle, as he's having a hard time finishing there. That he pulled up quickly, and usually when you see someone pull up like that, it's a hamstring issue, as we saw earlier with the young man from San Benito as well. So again, Harlingen finishing first, and it looked like Castillo from San Benito second, and Garcia San Benito third. We'll wait for the official results on that one, but we're done with the hurdles. So the 300-meter hurdles, boys and girls, are done, and now we go to the 200-meter dash. And again, Faith Franklin on the track. She's run a 23:71 so far, so the record looks like it may be on the line. The record is held by Samantha Villarreal, set back in 2009, 24:94. Let's go ahead and give you the lane assignments for the girls 200-meter dash. Alessandra Torres of Weslaco in lane 1, Lauren Longoria of San Benito in lane 2, Samara Rodriguez of Rivera in lane 3, Faith Franklin of Harlingen in lane 4, Maya Pu of Weslaco in lane 5, Bianca Verduzco of Los Fresnos in lane 6, Lauren Schaefer of San Benito in lane 7, and Liliana Gonzalez of Los Fresnos in lane 8.
And I got the results, Joe, of the girls 300-meter hurdles. In fourth place was Jaylyn Garcia out of Weslaco. Third place, Leila Galvan out of Los Fresnos. Second place, Anissa Joseph out of Harlingen. And your first place winner with a time of 48.68 is Elena Raquette, beg your pardon, 45.19. is Elena Roquette out of Harlingen High School.
Yeah, that's a better race than she's run all year long. She had run a 48 up until now, and now 45. So she brought that down 3 seconds. A good time to be peaking, but remember, she also holds the record at 44.
Yeah, and we go back to the 3,200 meter race, the boys division. It was fourth place, Azaria Garzoria out of Harlingen High School. Third place is Osbel Cisneros out of Harlingen. Second place is Tomas Tamayo out of Los Fresnos. And your first place winner with a time of a 10:49.85 was a Zachary Lamar out of Harlingen High School.
Good run there.
Yeah, 8 laps. And I just got handed the results of the boys 300-meter hurdles. Fourth place was Julian Peña out of Harlingen. Third place, Gael Garcia out of San Benito. Second place is Josiah Castillo out of San Benito. And your first place winner with a time of 41:53 was Noah Huerta out of Harlingen High School.
Yeah, he looked so relaxed. He just finished really easy with that one.
And after 14 events, Harlingen with 161 points. In second place is Weslaco High School with 113, and San Benito with 105 in third place.
So Weslaco climbing up.
They got work to do, but they're kind of hanging around.
So as we mentioned, 200-meter dash is next. Girls will be running first. They don't have the girls on the track just yet. So there might be a little bit of a delay.
Well, if we do have a few minutes, Joe, I can read out some of the fielding events that took place earlier in the week. We'll start off with the girls' discus throw. In fourth place was Talia Lures out of Harlingen. Third place is Cristally Armas out of Los Fresnos. And second place is Brianna de la Cruz out of Brownsville Rivera. And your first place winner, and it's also a new district record, Joe, is Jasmine Thompson with a throw of 150.05.50, if I'm reading it correct. Okay. And congratulations, Jasmine Thompson out of Harlingen High School, your district champion in the girls discus. We move on to the boys discus. Fourth place was Genaro Galvan out of Los Fresnos. In third place was Ray Guzman out of Weslaco. Second place was Pete Cantu, also of Weslaco. And your first place winner with a throw of 136 is Jacob Ortiz out of Harlingen High School. And then we move on to the girls high jump. That's always a fun event as well.
Yeah.
In fourth place was Magnolia Cavazos out of San Benito. Second place is Jaylyn Garcia out of Weslaco. We just saw her a few minutes ago.
Yes.
And second place is Leila Galvan out of Los Fresnos. And your first place winner with a jump of 5:03.00 is Lane Halford out of Los Fresnos. In boys high jump, fourth place is Hector Resendez out of Los Fresnos. In third place is Michael Vela out of Weslaco. Second place is, if you can help me with his name again. I think we said it earlier. Jazion Moore out of Harlingen. And your first place winner with a jump of 6:06.00 is Jake Ramirez out of Weslaco. The girls long jump. In fourth place was Evelyn Ellis out of Los Fresnos. Third place is Elena Roquette out of Harlingen. Second place is Amanda Mares out of Harlingen also. And your first place winner with a jump of 16:04.50 is Maya Pugh out of Weslaco High School. Congratulations to the young lady out of Weslaco High School. So we move on to the boys long jump. In fourth place was Joey Gorines out of Brownsville Hanna. Third place is Andreas Dior out of Harlingen. Second place is Colton Moore out of San Benito. And your first place winner was out of Harlingen High School is Jazion Moore with a jump of 20:07.50. Congratulations. And we move on to the girls pole vault. That's also a fun event there. Fourth place is Magnolia Cavazos out of San Benito. Third place is Lily Avalos out of San Benito. Second place, Rachel Archibald out of Harlingen. First place, your first place winner with a jump of 10 feet even is Emma Reyes out of Harlingen High School. And
they're still not on the track.
We're still not ready yet. Okay, so I can read off a few more events. The boys pole vault results. Fourth place, Isaac Sanchez out of San Benito. Third place, Moises Castillo out of San Benito. Second place is Christian Dominaski out of San Benito. So you got second, third, and fourth San Benito High School representing San Benito High School. But your first place winner is out of Weslaco High School, Esteban Rocha, with a jump of 12:06. The girls shot put. Fourth place was Sarahi Alonso out of Weslaco. In third place is Daniela Fernandez out of Brownsville Rivera. Second place, Amanda Rosales out of Harlingen. And your first place winner, and it's a new district record, Joe, is Jasmine Thompson out of Harlingen High School with a throw of 43.04.
Did she set a record in the other event as well, the discus?
I want to say, let's go back.
Because I remember you saying something similar to that.
Yes, yes.
That great effort by that young lady today.
Let's see here.
But yeah, just you know, we talked about the athletes and them just doing great things this year. She's one of them.
Yeah.
Jasmine Thompson.
Yeah, she 150.05.50 was her throw on the discus.
Yeah,
and it is a new district record.
So she's got both records.
She's got both records now.
So great job there, that young Thompson girl today.
I don't know if it's the same athlete or not, but I'm going to go out of the limb and say it. Harlingen also sent another young lady to Boston, and I wonder if it's her or if it's another athlete. I don't remember.
So,
but
anyway, nonetheless, they had some great shows today in the field events. The Harlingen girls.
So we move on to the boys shot put. In fourth place was Joey Soto out of Los Fresnos. Third place is Steven Lopez out of Harlingen. Second place is Genaro Galvan out of Los Fresnos. And your first place winner with a throw of 46.11 is Jacob Ortiz out of Harlingen High School. And now we move on to the girls triple jump. In fourth place was Leila Cerda out of Harlingen. In third place is Lisa Martinez out of Brownsville Hanna. In second place is Maya Pugh out of Weslaco. And your first place winner with a jump of 34.03 is Evelyn Ellis out of Los Fresnos. We called out her name a few times.
She was the anchor of the Los Fresnos relay team that ran just a little while ago as well. And she was the one that finished really strong, that determined look on her face.
Yeah. And then finally, the boys triple jump. In fourth place was Jacob Cantu out of San Benito. Third place, Eli Rodriguez out of Weslaco. So not only can he run, he can jump.
Yeah.
And in second place was Jose Gorines out of Brownsville Hanna. And your first place winner with a jump of 41.05 is Colton Moore out of San Benito. And those are the results of the fielding events.
Great job there. So the girls are headed out to the track for the 200-meter dash. And again, let's give you the lane assignments. It's been several minutes since we gave them to you. In lane 1, Alessandra Torres of Weslaco in lane 2. Lauren Longoria of San Benito. Lane 3, Samara Rodriguez of La Rivera. Lane 4, Faith Franklin of Harlingen. Lane 5, Maya Poo of Weslaco. Bianca Verduzco of Los Fresnos is going to be in lane 6. Lauren Schaefer of San Benito, lane 7. And Liliana Gonzalez of Los Fresnos in lane 8. Samantha Villarreal set this record back in 2009. 24:94 is the record. And the Samantha Villarreal is from San Benito. And Faith Franklin, as we mentioned earlier, has already put in a time of 23:71 this year.
And you notice they're putting the blocks on the west side of the track, and they're going to go around and run on the east side where they'll be going with the wind.
Right. Yeah, we've been seeing that, as you mentioned earlier, Mike, that sometimes that does happen. And so, this is one of those sometimes.
Right.
Because a lot of times, most of the time, we end up finishing right here on this west side, right in front of us. Well, not really in front of us, but not on the opposite. To our side.
Our side of
not
the
on the
track.
opposite side of the track.
You know, the hurdles, we've seen it on the far side, and I think it was the 100 that they also ran on the far side. So they're basically going with the direction of the wind, and we see that here in the 200.
Yeah, everything but the relays.
Yeah. So I wonder who makes that call as far as like where they finish. I wonder if it's the coaches or if it's the judges or the athletes or not the fans, but
maybe that guy that we're looking on the screen right now.
The AD.
The AD.
The home AD.
The home AD.
The KWES camera guy? No, I don't know.
The KWES director, Carlos Robledo.
But yeah, I mean, that's interesting though. I mean, if somebody happens to know, it'd be, they can contact us or, email us or something, and that'd be something to learn, to find out.
But again, here comes the girls' 200-meter dash. They are heading to their blocks. Again, lane 4, Faith Franklin, the overall favorite to win this one and maybe even set another record. She's broken one already, which was her own. This one may be one that doesn't belong to her, that may belong to her before this night is over. Good, clean start. And Franklin in lane 4 is already made up the stagger and is already in front of everybody coming out of the turn. Faith Franklin in first place. In second, it's going to be the young lady from Weslaco, Maya Poo. And here comes Franklin way out in front of everybody. 21, 22, 23. She may have a record because it looked like she finished in 23.
Ooh, it's going to be close, Joe. It was 23 into the 24 neighborhood there. And the record, as you mentioned, was 24.94.
Which is very close to 25.
Yeah, closer to 25. Yeah, absolutely. So we may have a new record.
1,600-meter runners, please report.
So we know she's already broken her own here. So here come the finishers again. Maya Poo in Weslaco in lane 5. And then the young lady from Rivera in lane 3. Samara Rodriguez running really strong as well. So it's Franklin Poo, Rodriguez from Rivera, and then the young lady from Los Fresnos, Verduzco, finishing strong up there in lane 6. So,
and coming into this race, Joe, I kind of circled it in my notes that we had 5 girls that were at one point ranked in the top 10 in the Valley in the 200-meter run. So this race, I mean, yes, Faith Franklin, is your district champion and it came in as a favorite. But, let's see who finished in second, third, and fourth, because this was going to be a competitive race.
Now it's the boys' 200-meter dash. In lane 1, Andreas Dior of Harlingen. In lane 2, Kian Jones of San Benito. Steven Venegas of Harlingen in lane 3. Eli Rodriguez of Weslaco in lane 4. John Garcia of Weslaco in lane 5. Andres Valdez of Weslaco in lane 6. Joey Godinez of Hanna in lane 7. And Mario Garcia of Hanna in lane 8. So Weslaco in lane 4, 5, and 6. Steven Venegas is the other guy to keep an eye on in this race as well. But this is going to be good because not more than a second separates first through 5th place in this one, Mike.
Yeah, so this is going to be a fun one to watch as well. I mean, this one's going to be very, very competitive. And again, Weslaco needs to finish strong to have a chance. They have a couple of runners there.
Well, they've got the three best times because they've got the third, fourth, and fifth lane.
So an opportunity to rack up some points here and
cut into that lead.
Yeah, close the gap a little bit. And I do have the results, Joe. Do I have some time to?
Yes.
The girls 200-meter dash. In fourth place was a Bianca Verduzco out of Los Fresnos. Third place was a Samara Rodriguez out of Brazo Rivera. Second place, Maya Pugh out of Weslaco. And your first place winner, Joe, with a time of 24:02. And yes, it is a new district record, is Faith Franklin out of Harlingen High School.
So good job there. Here come the boys. I'm sorry, I made a mistake. They're in lanes 4, 5, and 6. Lane 3 is occupied for a young man from Harlingen. That is Steven Venegas. So again, 1 through 5 in this race here are separated by less than a second. So this is going to be a good competitive race here. As you mentioned, Garcia is a guy to watch, according to Coach Cabrera. But Eli Rodriguez is in this race as well. So here we go. Rodriguez out in front. Here comes Garcia and Venegas. Garcia in first. Here comes Rodriguez. Rodriguez finishing strong, trying to catch him and surpass him. So I'm not sure who won that one.
I think Eli won that race there.
Yeah, I think he did.
But and in second place was the other young man from Weslaco.
Garcia.
So so we got Weslaco in first and second, and then it looked like Harlingen finished in third. So great job there by the two Weslaco boys. Did you see Eli in the last 100 meters or so just really taking it up a notch
pouring it on, yeah, because Garcia was up in front on the turn.
Yeah, you're right. And then Harlingen looked like he was going to do something there in lane 3, but Eli was just too much.
Yeah, so that's what it looked like. It looked like Rodriguez, Garcia, and Venegas.
And Eli signed to play football. I think it was
TLU.
Yeah, I think it was about a week ago or so.
Yeah, he had an excellent year this year on that football team. What was that game that he caught the winning touchdown, like with seconds to go?
That was against Harlingen.
Right, exactly.
That back and forth game,
yeah.
One of the most memorable games that you'll see against Harlingen. Harlingen and Weslaco have had their battles over the years, but Harlingen usually comes out on top, but not this past year. Weslaco had the team to make a run, and they went on to win the district championship and had that perfect regular season record, and then won a playoff game against Mission, and Eli was a big part of it, at running back.
And a couple of catches out of the backfield as well that were huge.
Absolutely. I think did Los Fresnos too? I think he had I don't know if it was Los Fresnos.
Yeah, I think he had a big running game against Los Fresnos.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then San Benito, against Fabian Garcia over there. Both teams were 9-0. That was special right there. So yeah, just a memorable year for that young man.
Well, we've got 2 more events left, the 1,600-meter run, girls and boys, and then the 1,600-meter relay, or the 4x400-meter relay, boys and girls. So we're coming up to the finals of the events for tonight, and it's been a good one here. Thank you for tuning in on KWES as we've been bringing you all the action. So let's go ahead and give you the competitors for the girls' 1,600-meter run. Stephanie Suarez of Harlingen, Amory Ebarb of Weslaco, Brianna Venegas of Harlingen, Stephanie Ruiz of Los Fresnos, Beatriz Hernandez of Hanna, Sofia Holmes of Hanna, Destiny Duran of Harlingen, Victoria Zapata of Los Fresnos, Mirna Chaides of Los Fresnos, Damara Paderes of Hanna, Arlene Salinas of Rivera, and Brianna Cisneros of Rivera as well. Destiny Duran, that young lady is going to area in the 3,200 and the 800, and I think she got gold in the 800 if my memory serves me correctly, and she's going to be running this race as well. So that's a 2-mile run, a half-mile run, and now a mile run.
In one day? Or when did the 3200 was early this morning,
Was
right?
it this morning? Was it yesterday? I'm not sure. But
Yeah.
But anyways, that's still a lot of running.
That's still a lot of running, whether it's 24 hours or whatever, it's 36 hours or whatever it is. Like, yeah, it's a lot of running. I could barely do 2 laps. Like, yeah, that's incredible.
And not even in the time that they're doing this.
Yeah, that's a good point there. Yeah, I would probably still have more than 5 minutes running 2 laps. That's just incredible what these young boys and girls do.
So those are the competitors for the girls' 1600-meter run. They're gathered on the track, having a last-minute lap, just trying to stay loose as they get ready to jump onto the track to run this last event for the evening, for them at least, because none of these girls are going to be in the last event of the night.
You bring up something funny, Joe. Like, you're about to run 4 laps and you're laughing about it. Like I don't know. That's just phenomenal. For them, 4 laps is just maybe like a walk down the park or something. It's a piece of cake for them. I mean, it's funny how they know where the camera is too. I mean, they look at the scoreboard and then they're like, "Where's the camera at? It's up there somewhere." And they know exactly where to look.
Well, you got to remember, these girls, or just this generation, has grown up with a phone, and so they know what a camera's all about, and they know the angles. Like, they know, like, okay, if this part of me is showing on the on the big screen, the camera's got to be facing this direction. So they can put all that together really
and
quick.
they do these neat little features on them too. And
yeah.
they can probably make their arms bigger and things like that. Add some muscle and
yeah.
In my case, it would be hair.
But yeah, you know, they are staying loose and joking with one another, and just getting ready to say, okay, look, I don't really want to say this, but I'm going to beat you in this race, okay? even if it's by this much. They see Anne-Marie go like that.
We go back to that, right?
Even if it's by this much.
Well, if there's something we learned today is what that much looks like. 500th of a second is that
this much. Yeah. that was a good one there between those two guys. The guy from Weslaco.
And Los Fresnos, yeah.
Fresnos, yes.
Yeah, and it's great to see, sportsmanship like that. Because in the end, everybody roots for everybody. It's competition on the field, but then when the race is over, you shake hands, and in their case, you embrace. You embrace and you show respect.
So the girls are still on the track. They haven't moved them on. Still on the field, excuse me. They haven't moved them onto the track just yet. So we're waiting for that to happen.
And I'm just assuming, Joe, that they're going by what the schedule says, because according to the schedule, 8 p.m. is when they're supposed to start it, and we're about 4 minutes shy of 8 o'clock. So, they're ahead of schedule, but they want to stay on schedule.
Right. For whatever reasons. But we were talking about the girls' 1600-meter run, which is the next event. Jamie Revuelta set this record back in 1995. Brownsville Rivera is what the high school she attended, with a time of 5:05. And that means that she ran each lap in 61 seconds, Mike.
Wow.
So a minute and a second.
And let's see, what year was that again? 1995.
Oh.
Wow.
So it's been a long-standing record, and no one's come really close to that so far this year. Stephanie Suarez has the best time coming into tonight's race at 5:26, followed by Anne-Marie Ebarb at 5:29. So that they'll have to run a really good race if they want to get close to that record.
We talk about how some of these records, go back for so many years, and the 80s and the 90s, and then we have a few that were broken within the last couple of years or so. And so it's kind of, we have some that are broken today.
Yes.
So we're going to have new records after today.
And congratulations to those athletes.
And I'm looking at the boys' high jump, Joe. There was a record by Tommy Barker out of Weslaco who has it in the boys' high jump of, let's see, I kind of, you can help me here. Is it
607?
607 back in 1971. And that same year, a man by the name of Don Osmus out of McAllen.
Yes, I remember him.
Has the record in the boys' shot put, 59:07.25. 1971.
It's a long time.
It's a long time. That's impressive when you have a record for that long.
I remember Osmus. I remember that name.
Yeah.
Because it's not a common name, let's put it that way. So the girls' 1,600-meter runners are on the track already. And the top 4 runners are set up on the top of the track. And we got Suarez, Ibar, Venegas, and Ruiz. So those 4 there that the starter is talking to and giving the last-minute.
What do you think he's telling them? What is he telling them?
He's probably reminding them, remember, girls, you have to run the whole curve before you can break to the front of the track.
You see the cones. They have some cones for them. They have to wait.
Yeah, they have to stay on this side or on lane 5 and out.
After 100 meters, correct? They have to.
Más o menos, yeah. It's about 110.
After the turn, I think.
Yeah, right after the turn, you'll see that they'll begin to break to the first lane. So yeah. So the starter is on his podium. Runners are going to their positions. And they are off, and it's a good, clean start. E-Barb getting out in front of everybody. And that's what you want to do, is you want to get out there and get in front, because the last thing you want to do is be boxed in.
Then you're stuck, right?
Then you're stuck, exactly. And so getting out in front, sometimes you have to put a little bit of effort to get out there. You know, you may have to burn a match, but that's what you want to do. You want to get out there so you don't get caught in, and then you have to work your way out, because the further out you go, believe it or not, the more you have to run. So
it goes back to the stagger that you point out during the other races there, when a runner makes up a stagger. Well, yeah, going to what you're saying right now, then you're kind of forced to do something close to that, you know, in a 4-lap race.
Right, exactly. And so you don't want to run 1,620 meters.
Right.
You know, 1,600 is enough.
Yes.
You don't want to have to run 1,620 because you were running in lane 3 because you were boxed out and you were having to make up ground.
And you notice, Joe, the 1,600-meter race is one of the last races, because by then it's a little cooler. The sun has already gone down. So when they run a 3,200-meter run, it's early in the morning, like at 9 o'clock, more or less. So, you know, they purposely do that, you know, for just, it's the right condition.
That, and plus you also want to give them plenty of recovery time.
Right.
Because a lot of these people just ran the 800 meters maybe about an hour ago. And that's 2 laps of a full-out sprint.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, you're going all out. You know, you go all out for the 100, you go all out for the 200. But yeah, 800. I mean, it's 2 whole laps there of everybody kind of neck and neck going at each other. You
had the times of the events tonight. What time was the 800 run at?
Oh, for the schedule, they had it at 8 o'clock. For the 800, you said?
Yeah.
7 p.m.
So
no, I'm sorry. That's the relay. For the run itself was 6:15. So that was what, the second event.
Yeah. So that was about an hour and a half ago. So you got about an hour and a half to recover.
Right.
After running that race, to come and run 4 laps.
And the sun was still pretty up high.
Right.
You know, when we got started here. You know, now it's, you know, the sun has set, so we're in twilight right now.
So here come the girls as they are finishing up lap number 2, and we've got Sophia Holmes of Hannah and Ebarb of Weslaco first and second, and right behind them is Brianna Venegas of Harlingen. And of course Destiny Duran is there as well. So you got 3 young ladies from Harlingen, Stephanie Suarez as well.
And you saw the judge there, you know, come out and stick out his 2 fingers like, you have 2 laps left.
Right. Yeah, they just finished their second, so they got 2 more to go. So you'll start to see a little bit of separation here as the front pack is out in front, and here come the ones holding up the back. But here comes one of the young ladies from Harlingen beginning to make a move and get out in front of everybody. So you got a young lady from Harlingen followed by Hannah's Holmes and Ebarb, and it's going to be Suarez from Harlingen. She's got the best time coming into this race at 5:26. So she's beginning to set the pace here, and Holmes from Hannah is going to try to keep up with her. Ebarb has fallen back by about 4 paces. So it's going to be Suarez, Holmes, and Ebarb, and then of course the next 2 young ladies, Venegas and Duran of Harlingen as well. And remember, Duran is already going to the area in the 3200 and the 800. Venegas also finished strong in the 800 as well. She actually finished second to Duran.
And it's this event, Joe, where we see a lot of the teammates kind of run toward them, like behind the flags there, and give them some encouragement, you know, to come on, let's go. You got one more lap, finish strong, let's go, you can do it.
Ebarb now in 4th place, just got taken over by Venegas of Harlingen, and Duran is right on her heels. So Ebarb right now going to area if she stays there. But Venegas beginning to separate herself from the pack as she is in 1st place, followed by Holmes. So it's Suarez, Holmes, Venegas. Now Duran in 4th. Ebarb is in 5th. So it's going to be Suarez as she gets to the 150-meter mark to go. So Suarez is going to finish 1st. Holmes is still in 2nd place. But we've got Venegas inching in on her. So we'll see if Venegas got anything in the tank to finish strong and overtake Holmes. So it's going to be Suarez finishing 1st. Here comes Venegas, Mike. She is making a move on Holmes. And here comes Duran as well. So is it going to be a 1-2-3 finish for Harlingen? So Suarez finishes 1st. Venegas finishes 2nd. Holmes finishes 3rd. Destiny Duran finishes 4th. So Harlingen stockpiling the points here in the 1600 meters, and Ebarb finishing 5th.
I think it's fair to say, Joe, that Harlingen will be your district champion.
Yeah.
If they aren't already yet, I think after this race, they will be. So they got, what, 3 out of the 4 girls that finished in the top.
Yeah, going to area. Well, here come the last of the ladies finishing up here in the 1600-meter run. And a good race there run by all the athletes. As you mentioned, Mike, that's 4 laps, 4 times around this track. And that's going to be difficult for anybody.
No question about it.
Yeah, and these young ladies ran it pretty hard.
Well, you know, I think one of the best feelings in the world is when you're able to finish the race and then knowing that you're going to move on to the next round. That it has to be a pretty good feeling.
It most definitely has to be. So again, Suarez, followed by Venegas, Holmes, and Duran are your finishers for the girls 1600-meter run. Now the boys are going to be next, and they will be going 4 times around the track as well. And their competitors are going to be Zachary Lamar of Harlingen. Okay, well, let's go ahead and watch the replay on the girls 1600. And here comes Suarez as she just has a commanding lead. And she's not even going to look back. She may have looked up at the Jumbotron a little bit just to see where everybody else was. But she just knew she was out in front of everybody. And then, of course, Venegas finishing strong in second as she overtook Holmes on the last 100 meters. And then it was Holmes, and then, of course, Destiny Duran. There go 3 girls going to area, giving you the thumbs up. Yep.
Yeah, we're okay. We're okay. They drank some water, smiling, and they're ready to move on.
Zachary Lamar from Harlingen, Osbel Cisneros of Harlingen, Tomás Tamayo of Los Fresnos, Ubaldo III of Harlingen, Joey Barra of San Benito, Andres Rodriguez of San Benito, Joshua Rodriguez of Weslaco, Pedro Rivera of Hanna, Kevin Martinez of San Benito, Draven Blake of Weslaco, Robert Nieto of Los Fresnos, James Garcia of Los Fresnos, Michael Fuentes of Weslaco, and Diego Sosa of Hanna. Those are your competitors in the boys 1,600-meter run.
And while we wait, I do have the results of the boys 200-meter dash. In fourth place was Keon Jones out of San Benito. Third place is Steven Venegas out of Harlingen. Second place, John Garcia out of Weslaco. And your first place winner with a time of 22.26 was Eli Rodriguez out of Weslaco. So you got Weslaco with the gold and silver in this race. So great job. And after 15 events, they have Harlingen at 167 points. Weslaco a solid second with 133. And in third place is San Benito with 109. And just handed to me was the results of the girls' 1,600-meter run. Fourth place was Destiny Duran out of Harlingen. Third place, Sophia Holmes out of Brownsville, Hanna. Second place, Brianna Venegas out of Harlingen. And your first place winner with a time of a 5:26.35 is Stephanie Suarez out of Harlingen High School. And Harlingen, after 16 events with 216 points, Los Fresnos with 127, and Weslaco with 92.
And the boys 1,600-meter run is underway. And the boys are getting out there.
I don't think we mentioned it, Joe, but the record in this event is held by Ariel Galvan out of McAllen Memorial.
Yeah, in the 80s.
Back in the 80s, 1983, with a time of 4:12.64.
Yeah, they had a really good track team. He was on the track team with Sam Terry back then, and those two guys were something else.
And I want to say McAllen Memorial was a fairly new school at that time, right?
They were very new.
Yeah, I think they opened, what would you say, around 81, 80, 81, I think?
Yeah, you're right. 80, 81 is kind of when they started. That's when they opened up that school.
I remember going to a football game at Barbie Field when I was a kid, and that was about 1984, more or less. And yeah, Memorial was a brand new school at that time.
Tamayo out in front, followed by Cisneros and Lamar. 1, 2, and 3. Looks like Lamar is now going to overtake everybody and begin to set the pace here in this race. So Lamar now making a move to go out in front. So it's Harlingen in 1, 2, and 3. In Lamar, Cisneros, and Ubaldo III. In that mix is Tomás Tamayo. He's not going to give up third that easy yet to Ubaldo III. But it's Zachary Lamar out in front. Followed by Osbel Cisneros and Tomás Tamayo. Ubaldo III. And that's how they're ranked in the district right now. 1, 2, 3, and 4 in that exact order. As you can tell by their bib numbers.
Yeah.
And in fifth place is Joey Barra, and that's how they're running right now. They've completed 2 laps. They're on their 3rd lap right now. And it's Zachary Lamar, Osbel Cisneros, Tomás Tamayo, and Ubaldo III. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So barring any mishap, looks like Zachary Lamar is going to hang on to this lead as he's extended it already. Doing a good job just keeping his tempo, keeping his rhythm, staying out in front of everybody. But look at 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. They are still very, very tight there as we come down to the last 100 meters of the 3rd lap. So you got about 500 meters to go.
So one more lap.
Yes.
One more lap, and a little more than a lap, but we're nearing the 1 lap.
Yes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
We talk about the coaches and some of the athletes there kind of standing behind the flag area, just kind of yelling and hollering.
Yeah, because you know these guys are tired.
Yeah, absolutely. You see a great shot there of the sunset and the runners coming towards you.
And the Texas flag.
And the beautiful Texas flag.
There goes Lamar out in front of everybody. And it looks like it is Tomas Tamayo in second place. He's overtaken Osvel Cisneros. So we'll see how he finishes. We'll see how these guys can finish. Ubaldo III is one of those guys that's going to the area meet in the 800. So he's got some legs on him. So we'll see if he can make a move here at the end. And there he goes, going into third place. Cisneros falling back into fourth. Let's see if they can come up and make a move on Tomas Tamayo. Here comes Osvaldo III. Tamayo also bidding on the Jets. He doesn't want to finish third. Here comes Osvaldo III coming into second. It is Lamar, Osvaldo III, Tamayo, followed by Cisneros. So Harlingen with 3 people as well in the boys division going to the area round, but more than anything else, adding more points to their point total already.
Yeah, great finish there by the young man, surpassing the young man from Los Fresnos there and capturing, what was it, third place, going from fourth to third there. And we see the rest of the runners coming in.
Kevin Martinez, who finished strong in the 800, was coming up strong here in the 1600 as well. Michael Fuentes there finishing strong also. As he comes in there at the end, right there, that last camera shot.
You see where the young man surpasses the Los Fresnos runner there in the last, what would you say, Joe?
Ubaldo III, last
75,
yeah,
more or less.
Yeah, last 70 yards. Ubaldo III coming on strong, tagging on and overtaking Tamayo from Los Fresnos for second. So all those 3 getting medals, and of course, Cisneros going to area. So there's your district champion right there on the camera, Zachary Lamar. 1,600-meter run, 4 times around the track, and he just went out there and by the I want to say 800 meters, he was already out in first place. So we are down to the last event of the evening, the 1,600-meter relay, or as we all say, the 4x400-meter relay. And it's going to be Hannah in lane 2, Los Fresnos in lane 3, Weslaco in lane 4, Harlingen in lane 5, San Benito in lane 6. That's the girls division. Hannah, Valentina Pineda, Lynette Ezequiel, Alyssa Rios, Lisa Martinez. Los Fresnos, Natalie Moctezuma, Delilah Martinez, Sofia Duran, and Isabella Vasquez. Weslaco, Sadie Romero, Jenna Peña, Mia Desiga, and Maya Poo are the 4 competitors for Weslaco. Harlingen, Layla Cerda, Elena Roquette, Juliana Garcia, and Faith Franklin. And then San Benito will have Emmeline Cardenas, Hayden Rodriguez, Jacada Ibarra, and Yasmin Bernabe. So here comes the last event of the evening for the girls. And it's a 4x400-meter relay, the record set by PSJA back in 1981, 3:59:44, meaning that they all ran under a minute.
PSJA high school, huh?
Yep.
When back in those days, Joe, there was only one high school. Everybody pretty much had one high school except Brownsville. And if McAllen Memorial opened back then, it would be McAllen. Everybody else in the Rio Grande Valley had one high school.
In the boys 1,600-meter run. In 6th place, Joe Ibarra from San Benito. In 5th place, Andres Rodriguez from San Benito. In 4th place,
So the
Cisneros from Harlingen. In 3rd place,
starters are being sent to their blocks, and they are setting up their blocks. Valentina Pineda of Hannah, Natalie Moctezuma of Los Fresnos, Sadie Romero of Weslaco, Layla Cerda of Harlingen, and Emmeline Cardenas of San Benito. You know, we talked about the record at 3:59. Weslaco and Harlingen both have come in with times of 4:05. So if they run that kind of a race here tonight, it's going to be a close one. You know,
so it's one lap for each individual.
Each one will run one lap.
We'll get to see Faith Franklin one more time.
Anchoring. She's anchoring the Harlingen team.
All right. So this should be a great race then.
So again, it is the girls 4x400 meter relay. Hannah in lane 2, Los Fresnos in lane 3, Weslaco in lane 4, Harlingen in lane 5, San Benito in lane 6. So this is going to be a good one. Weslaco and Harlingen, as we mentioned, coming in with the best time at 4:05. Los Fresnos just a few seconds behind them at 4:09. And a couple of names that we've heard tonight already. Natalis Moctezuma, Delilah Martinez, and Sofia Duran have all competed well tonight for the Los Fresnos team. So they're not one to be discounted, let's put it that way.
Yeah, for Harlingen, Elena Roquette,
the record holder in 300-meter hurdles.
Yeah, the hurdler, yeah.
And she also won gold in the 100-meter hurdles. I don't think she set the record or holds the record there, but still, it's an impressive athlete. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
So here we go. The starter is on his podium. He's been given the okay to get things going. And he gives everybody thumbs up. Turning on his mic. And he has unclipped his holster. Okay, now he's getting back down. Something might have happened. Oh, because of the stagger, he couldn't see everybody.
Just like the athletes, it's also been a long day for these judges and, you know, everybody involved.
Runners have been sent to their blocks for the last event of the night, the 4x400 meter relay girls division. Again, Weslaco and Harlingen, lanes 4 and 5. Romero, Cerda are the starters for those two squads. Los Fresnos, another team to watch in this one. And it's a good, clean start. And Cerda from Harlingen out in front. She's already made up the stagger on the outside lane, which is San Benito. As we mentioned, it's Sadie Romero from Weslaco is the first leg for your Lady Panthers, and she is a strong runner. She's been impressive tonight.
Calls in the breaking point, please.
Hasn't given up much space between her and the lady from Harlingen. But they've already surpassed the young lady from San Benito out in lane 7 or 6. But here comes Harlingen and Weslaco, Los Fresnos. 1, 2, and 3. We'll see the exchange here. Harlingen is going to be Elena Roquette, the hurdler. Weslaco is going to have Jenna Peña. And Los Fresnos is going to have Delilah Martinez. Harlingen, Los Fresnos, Weslaco. And here they come. Los Fresnos is in second right now. Jenna Peña ran earlier. And here they'll be able to start to get to lane 1 right after they pass the 110-meter mark. And here comes the lady from San Benito overtaking everybody, and that is Hayden Rodriguez. She has just come out of nowhere and overtaken second place. But it is Harlingen's Elena Roquette out in front. And we know she's got stamina because she ran that 300-meter hurdle, and she took it from start to finish. So Harlingen way out in front of everybody. My question here now, is the record in jeopardy?
Meanwhile, Weslaco has now taken over second place.
2:01. Now, if the last two girls for Harlingen can run under 60 seconds, there's a chance that this record is falling.
With Faith Franklin as your anchor.
Yeah. because if this lady can run 60 seconds, Faith runs a 55 or 56 second, that record is falling. So here we go. Harlingen way out in front, followed by Weslaco. Looks like Weslaco is now in second place. Again, Weslaco and San Benito have identical uniforms. So the clock we need to be looking at now. About 14 seconds for to run 100 meters. Harlingen in first place, 2:55, 57, 58, 3 minutes. Faith gets it at 3:03. So she's got to run a 56 to beat the record, which is not out of the realm of possibility for her.
Yeah, and there she goes.
And she is way out in front of everybody. She's got at least a 60-meter lead on everybody. But again, they gave her the first place lead. So here she comes, 3:30 at the turn. .340.
3:59 is the record.
3:59 is the record, and I think this record is going down, Mike.
Yeah.
This record may fall right here. 3:50. She slowed down a little bit. 3:56. 3:57,
yeah.
And looks like we may have a new record for the 4x400 meter relay. Here comes Maya Poo for Weslaco, finishing second. And what a good race by Weslaco.
Absolutely.
And San Benito finishes third. San Benito's second leg really was impressive, and that is Hayden Rodriguez.
Yeah, she's the one that kind of surpassed about 3 or 4 runners and was in second place for a while. But then Weslaco was able to get it back and finish a solid. You mentioned, Joe, that they ran a good race as well, but it's just a Harlingen is just too much.
Yeah, they are just really strong. But here comes Faith on that last, and as you can tell, she was just in command. She is pushing, her legs are coming up, her arms are moving, and she is up over the ground as she is running, and she continues to just pull those strides. And you know, even though she did slow down a little bit, I think that record is going to fall, and we'll just have to wait and see on the official time. But again, this looks like another record for Harlingen.
Yeah, this time we got a wave by her. We got a hi mom type of greeting to the camera.
Yeah, so good race there by Harlingen, but again, Weslaco, you know, they ran really well. You got to look at, you know, Jenna Peña, you know, as we mentioned, that second leg for San Benito did really well, but Peña kept Weslaco in the hunt. And then of course when Peña then handed it off to Mia Desiga just really began to close the gap, and again, you know, Maya Poo just you know, finished strong and got them into second place. So good effort there by all 4 legs of Weslaco. So now we go to the last event of the evening. It's going to be the boys 4x400 meter relay. San Benito in lane 2, Los Fresnos in lane 3, Harlingen in lane 4, Weslaco in lane 5, Hannah in lane 6, Rivera in lane 7. San Benito is going to be going with Colton Ward, Josiah Castillo, Christian Domanaski, and Moises Castillo. Los Fresnos got Adrian Martinez, Eric Winkle, Anthony Martinez, and Robert Roman Pineda. Harlingen, Andreas Dior, Noah Huerta, Steven Venegas, and Jayzian Moore. Weslaco is going to have Samuel Flores, John Garcia, Saul Ramirez, Michael Vela. Hannah, David Antonio Chapa, Carlos Vasquez, Andrew Martinez, and Carlos Pineda. Harlingen set this record back in 1981, 3:16.74. Harlingen so far has the best time coming in at 3:25, so that's going to be a difficult task to try to do. But Weslaco and Harlingen both bringing in 3:25s, and you read off those names. Those names are names that we have heard tonight already. Dior, Huerta, Venegas, Moore, Flores, Garcia, Ramirez, and Vela.
Ubaldo the third.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that looks like he is a alternate.
Oh, I see. Yeah, you're right. Did they have a 5th and a 6th runner as alternates?
But Jayzian Moore, that young man, is on this anchor leg for the for the Cardinals. And Michael Vela, he's run well tonight as well, and so he's the anchor leg for Weslaco. But again, Samuel Flores, Andreas Dior getting things started for Weslaco and Harlingen. Gun is up. Moments away from the last event of the night, boys, 4x400 meter relay.
No.
And they're off. A good, clean start. Weslaco and Harlingen. And Weslaco's already made up the stagger on Hannah. And again, this is Samuel Flores. And he's started a good lead for Weslaco. Harlingen is on the inside lane in 4, and that's Dior. But Dior not running in the same pace as Flores, but he's running well because he's already made up the stagger on the outside 2 lanes of Hannah and Rivera. But here comes Samuel Flores for Weslaco, giving Weslaco a lead. And Flores is going to give it to John Garcia. But Dior is making up some pace. He's made up some room there. So here comes Garcia. Garcia's now got the baton for Weslaco. And for Harlingen, it's Noah Huerta, the hurdler. And this is a good, strong runner for Harlingen. But John Garcia is one of our faster sprinters. We've seen him run well in the 100 and the 200. Haven't seen him run in a 400, but he is out in front. And it looks like it's Los Fresnos in second, and that's Eric Wrinkle. He's made up some move and made up some room and gotten into second, but here comes Harlingen, and that is Noah Huerta. Huerta, the gold medalist in the 300 hurdles. He's coming on strong, trying to close the gap on John Garcia. Garcia still in first place, and Garcia will then hand it off to Saul Ramirez. And it's going to be Ramirez and Venegas for Harlingen. And it's Weslaco and Harlingen. They've got a commanding lead on the rest of the group. So here's Weslaco and Harlingen, Ramirez and Venegas. Coming up to the 200-meter mark. Weslaco in first. Saul Ramirez hanging on to the lead. Steven Venegas coming up on the outside. Making a move. Now it's Harlingen overtaking Weslaco. Venegas now has a 3-meter lead, and he's going to hand it off to Jazion Moore. And Moore has the baton in first place. And in second place is going to be Michael Vela of Weslaco. Vela's got to make up some room, but Moore is extending this lead. It's a good 20-meter lead for Harlingen. So Harlingen will finish first, followed by Weslaco. Moore looked back to see what he had. He looked back again to see where everybody else was at. He knows he's got a good commanding lead. Here comes Moore around the turn. He's in first, followed by Vela of Weslaco. Vela coming on strong, but I don't know if he's got enough. I don't know if it's a little too late. Here comes Vela. Here comes Vela. Here comes Vela. Weslaco may have taken this.
Wow. Oh, my goodness.
What a race is what we just heard from the PA announcer. And I don't think anybody could have said it better.
Yeah, just wait till we see the results for this one. My goodness.
Vela had the run of his life. Moore put it all out at the front end. Vela put it all out on the back end.
As you mentioned, Joe, the young man had like a 20-plus meter lead.
At the 150-meter mark.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, at the 250-meter mark.
Yeah, here we see the last 100 meters or so there. You see Vela just all of a sudden.
He's got this
turning on
the nitrous.
The nitrous. Literally, look at him go. And Moore, I wonder if he thought that he had this in the bag and just kind of relaxed a little bit.
I'm not sure if he had anything left in the tank.
Yeah,
He's running out of gas.
And then I think what happened is that he looked up in the scoreboard and saw that Vela was coming, has to look from behind and stick out the baton. I don't know if that's legal or not.
Interference.
That could be interference there. That might, yeah.
He may have inched him out.
Yeah,
I
let's
think
see.
Moore got him at the end. I think Moore got him by half a stride.
Yeah.
Because it looked like his foot landed first. But again, as you mentioned, Mike, we're going to wait for those official results. But here it is again. Let's see from this angle. This is a top angle here. I think this is Val Zamora with this camera right here.
But just look at Vela, the way he's hustling down all the way to the finish line there, and just putting his head down and just.
I think Harlingen had half a step. But you gotta give Vela some credit. He ran the race of his life there. But Moore, as we mentioned, I think he just put out so much on the front end.
If there is an adjustment that has to be made going into next week at area, it's turning on the jets maybe another 50 meters or so sooner. Or maybe 25 perhaps, even less, you know, just.
But do you have that much left in the tank?
Yeah, I mean, he showed like he could go another 50, 100 meters or so.
Yeah, I don't know about that. He fell. He was tired.
Yeah.
He gave it all, though. But that's what you got to give him credit for, because he gave it all.
Yeah. And
so here we go, Mike.
We got the results, but before we get there, Joe, I got to read the results of the boys' 1,600-meter run. Fourth place was Osbel Cisneros out of Harlingen. Third place was Tomás Tamayo out of Los Fresnos. Second place was Ubalo III out of Harlingen. And your first place winner with a time of 4:31.22 was Zachary Lamar out of Harlingen. Again, this was a boys' 1,600-meter run. Now we move on to the girls, a 4x400-meter relay. Fourth place was Los Fresnos. Third place, San Benito. Second place, Weslaco High School. And your first place winner with a time of 3:58.01 and a new district meet record is Harlingen High School. And they finished with 236 points to win the district championship, followed by Los Fresnos with 135. And Weslaco, a solid third, considering they only had 9 runners overall with 108 points. So I know Coach Almaguer is happy about that. And now the final event of the night was the boys 4x400-meter relay. In fourth place was San Benito. In third place, Los Fresnos. Second place, Weslaco High School with a time of 3:23.89. And your first place winner with a time of 3:23.79 is Harlingen High School.
So 1/10 of a second.
1/10 of a second. And the final team rankings was Harlingen High School with 209 points, Weslaco with 149, and San Benito with 120. So Harlingen capturing district championships in the boys and girls division.
Congratulations to them. So what a good night of track and field. We had all the running events tonight, with the exception of the 3,200-meter run, which was done earlier today. And again, some records were shattered today. But as you mentioned, Harlingen taking the boys and the girls division in the 32 6A district meet here in Weslaco. As we mentioned earlier, the top 4 finisher of each event will go on to area, which is going to be run next week in Harlingen. And so that's going to be a fun one as they then begin to see who's going on to regionals, and then of course to state. So what a great night of track and field here at Texas National Bank Field at Bobby Lackey Stadium. For Mike Gonzalez, I am Joe Aguilar, and the rest of the KWES crew, we want to thank you for tuning in tonight for the 32 6A district track meet here in Weslaco. And as you can see on the field, they are announcing Harlingen as the champion. Girls division, of course, boys division is Harlingen as well. So we are done tonight. Good night, and we'll see you next time right here on KWES.
Brownsville Rivera in 5th place, Brownsville Hannah. In 4th place, Los Fresnos. In 3rd place with 120 points, San Benito. In 2nd place with 149 points, Weslaco. And your 32 6A boys champion With 209 points, Harlingen. This concludes our 32-6A track and field championships. We want to welcome everybody. We want to wish everybody a safe trip home. On behalf of WISD, we thank everybody for showing up. Thank you all for your support. Have a great rest of the week.